courage, commitment, desire. This is the Blitz, baby!
Of the Northwest Florida Daily News' Prep Football Blitz, where each week we get you guys set for the Friday night that's coming up. And before we do that, like we like to do, taking a look back at week 2. I know when I look back, the thing that kind of stood out to me, South Walton going on the road again. They're starting off with 4 straight road games to begin this season, pick up another big win. What kind of stood out to you?
The Rocky Bayou Pinal Baptist game, really close. We thought that maybe they might finally get that first win, but they weren't able to do it. And that'll segue us into our first game this week. It's Rocky Bayou hosting Franklin County. First win in program history, 3 years of that program. First win last week. How do you kind of see this one?
Yeah, Franklin County, they're coming in on a high note, and Rocky Bayou, as you alluded to, kind of on a downer, losing that 42-40 game to Pinal. I hate to do it, but I'm going to go with Franklin County. I think Rocky Bayou, they had everything go right, it seemed like, for 3 quarters and still fell short. I'm going to go with Franklin County, a squeaker.
I'm going to take Rocky in this one. I saw enough of them last week to think that running game can do some damage when it's on, and against the Franklin County team, not very big. I'm liking Rocky. And then moving on, we got Freeport at Jay. With all due respect to Fort Walton Beach and Niceville, a couple of good games too this week.
Right.
This might be the game of the week. 2 favored teams in that District 1.
Yeah, and I like Freeport. I think they're coming off of a one-sided loss at Milton, but you expected that. They kind of knew that going in. They were going to take some lumps. I still think with Cole Weeks and Nathan Hendricks and those guys, I think they'll go on the road get this win, start the season district-wise with a big W.
I think we're going to have to differ on our first team.
Oh, really?
I'm
Nice.
taking Jay.
Nice.
I'm taking Jay. At home, I think those two teams are really evenly matched, but their defense is really stout this year. Freeport's good, but I like that home field advantage there.
Okay. Right.
And then next we've got Vernon at Baker. Vernon 2-0 team this year, Baker 0-2.
Yeah, Baker's 0-2 is a little deceiving too, losing to Crestview and losing closely last week as well. I'm still going to go with Vernon. I just think they're a little bit better of a team right now. Haven't seen Baker a whole lot, but from what I've gathered, I'm going to go with Vernon.
Yeah, Baker's kind of still figuring out those offensive skill positions. Right. Still don't have that all in cement yet, and I think Kellogg's still kind of wondering who's going to step up. I am going to take Vernon on the road. Next we got South Walton at Bozeman. Again, South Walton still on the road. Yeah,
the Road Warriors, they've won the first 2, they've got 2 more. Bozeman is a game, they're very familiar with Bozeman. The teams met twice last year. South Walton won each. Very close games, very physical games. Would expect more of the same in this meeting. Would also expect South Walton to go on the road and make it 3 for 3 in this road start to the season.
Absolutely. South Walton, they definitely should get this win. Bozeman's 0-2, haven't looked great this year. South Walton has at times looked good on the road, chewing up that possession. So Catholic at Navarre, Class 2 against a Class 4, but you couldn't really tell by the time.
No, and Pensacola Catholic's one of the better in their classifications. Navarre, they're still trying to find themselves, still struggling to put together a full game, full 4 quarters of offense, defense, special teams. Saw that in the loss at Fort Walton Beach. For that reason alone, I'm going to go with Catholic. I think Catholic edges one out on the road.
Yeah, especially based on how we saw Catholic play Choctaw. Choctaw's a similar team to Navarre, still trying to figure out some things. Catholic is, they're really physical.
Yeah.
They'll beat you up. So I do like Catholic on the road at Navarre.
Yep.
And then we've got Pace at Fort Walton Beach. Pace, not that stout team that they always are, but they're still very good.
Not the same old Pace from a year ago and years past. I like Fort Walton Beach. I think this team, they're still trying to figure out some things defensively. Gave up over 400 yards rushing last week at Sparkman, still won. Luke Barnes 3 touchdowns away from Danny Werfel's record. I think he'll get it. I think Fort Walton Beach will win once again.
Absolutely. It's kind of the same thing with Niceville. I have a hard time picking against Fort Walton Beach at home.
Right.
They're just so good. They roll up numbers like you wouldn't believe.
Sure.
So I will take Fort Walton Beach in that. And then finally, Niceville at Pine Forest. I know everybody in Niceville is kind of like, is this what's going to happen? But It's not the same Pine Forest team, or even really close.
No, and it's not really the same Niceville team. This is a team that plays a little bit better defense now. I think their offense is more well-rounded. Garrett Fletcher, guys like that, helping out Roy Finch, Cody Williams, Kyle McDormand's looking really good at quarterback. I like Niceville. I think they're going to go on the road and win. We've seen them do this before, much higher level with Lincoln. Pine Forest, I think they go and get the job done.
Yeah, Pine Forest didn't look convincing in their season opener, a 6-3 win over Escambia, and Escambia is not great this year. So I would be hard pressed again to pick against Niceville almost any week,
right.
especially against this week against depleted Pine Forest.
Sure.
I'm definitely taking Niceville, and that will wrap up this week's edition of the Blitz. For Travis Downey, I am Will Parchman, and we'll see you again next time.